or heard of aloe vera, but would it surprise you to know that aloe vera can be helpful with many different things that I'll later discuss in my speech. Aloe vera is a magical plant known as the plant of immortality back in the days. This plant is known to heal any cuts, burns, or scars that you may have within a short amount of time. It's also known to help your skin, your hair, and your health. Even though some of us might already know about aloe vera, you should still listen because you could gain more knowledge from this and you could even use this to your own benefit. I myself have used aloe vera for a while now. I see it being used everywhere in my family. This plant has been used for a variety of reasons, therefore I believe I'm credible to talk about this. The purpose of my speech is to inform you all on the benefits of using aloe vera. First, I will talk about the background of aloe vera and where it originates from. Then I will discuss an event that led me to use aloe vera for the first time. And finally, I will look at how aloe vera could be used in the future. Now moving on to the history of aloe vera. Aloe vera is an ancient plant that has been passed down for centuries, like 1750 BC. According to Amar Sujuri on 2008, he stated that aloe vera was a favorite to the Romans, Egyptians, Greeks, and many more. The Egyptian queens used it for their beauty, while Alexander the Great and Christopher Columbus used it to treat their soldiers. This plant originates from the eastern and southern Africa but has spread throughout the world. There are 3 different types of layers. The first inner layer is gel and consists of vitamins and minerals and amino acids and many more. The middle layer is a yellow sap, and the last layer is called a rindle, and it's the thickest layer. It has 15 to 20 cells, which is a protective function and combines proteins and carbohydrates. Inside the bundles, they're responsible for transportation of substances such as water and starch. Now that I have talked about the history of aloe vera, next I will share a story on the first time I used aloe vera for the first time. When I was younger, I was surrounded by aloe vera. I would see some in my backyard. I would see my sister putting some on her face, or I would see like my grandpa is making a smoothie out of it and just drinking it. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, what is that? So one time I was standing on some bricks and my mom was saying, don't step on it, you're gonna fall. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fall, like they're just bricks, like when do they ever break? So I was just walking and then I slipped and the whole bricks grabbed my knee. So I have like this huge scar and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get stitches. I've never gotten stitches, I have to go to the hospital. Like, it was a mess. And so then my mom, she took me to the backyard and she cut some aloe vera and like she split it in half and she wrapped my leg around it. And it felt kind of weird and I was like, okay. So that was the first time I used aloe vera. And after like a couple days, it healed and I was like, whoa, like that was so fast, like I like it. And then I also use aloe vera for my hair because it strengthens your hair. And then I tried using it for my face to clear my skin and like acne and stuff. And now that I shared a story, finally I will discuss how aloe vera could be used in the future. According to natural healers, studies have shown that aloe vera could be used to help fight cancer. There wasn't enough evidence on this because apparently it was only tested on animals and not humans. So that was one of the reasons. But aloe vera makes your immune system stronger, so therefore they believe that it can help fight cancer. Now that I have shared some general information on aloe vera, let's wrap this speech up. First, I talked about the history of aloe vera and where it originates from, and then I shared an inside story on on the first time I used aloe vera. And finally, I discussed how aloe vera could possibly be used in the future. From my speech, I hope you guys got a better understanding on aloe vera and the benefits of it. And then to close my speech, according to Mike Adams, the health ranger, he said, of all the herbs that he's studying, and he's written a lot of articles on nutrition and disease prevention, aloe vera is the first most impressive herb of them all.